right-hand corner of this map, we've got the blue Terran. Can he make it happen? It is EJK.
And his opponent spawning in the bottom left. We have got our red Terran looking to take a game here now off of EJK. It is TA Pro's Raze. So first thing that sticks out to me already in this game is we've got a faster refinery actually before racks here from Raze. Does this mean we might see a quicker factory?
It's definitely possible. One of the cool things that carried over from Heart of the Swarm are the sort of relative timings of things. And if you get your gas before your pool, you can get speed pretty much right away. It's the same gap. And in the same way over here, if you get your gas before your barracks, you can get, it lines up very nicely. You'll get that 100 gas right about the right time. You can go ahead getting factory pretty quickly. Because we see Raze going past the 150 marker, it's more and more likely that we're not going to see any multi-barracks Reaper shenanigans. That can happen, but Dust Towers is a pretty awful map for Reapers. Not a lot of room to jump into the base. It's pretty much all from one angle. So there we have that factory coming down. EJK going to be the defender. EJK, how could you let someone else build a factory before you? You're the meching player. Very disappointed.
But you know, EJK, his SCV did run into that base and saw that factory. Saw it very soon into its production. So you might get an idea of what's going on. I know, you know, Hellions are still possible. It could be a Banshee, but gets an idea that something a little bit funnier might be up at this point.
Yep. A lot more options for aggression for that player goes into the later expansion. It's one of those general principles that you can apply to your StarCraft games. Even if you are not a Terran player, it just sort of works pretty much all the time there. And EJK going to go ahead and build a factory of his own. I will counter your factory with my factory, he says. Probably. And, you know, getting a couple gases. We do have a Reaper en route for Raze. And he's already got a Reaper out, so he'll go to that 2 Reaper marker and likely stop there. If not, things are quite weird. No, things are normal. We can relax. And 2 Reapers and a Hellion going to go out and just see what's going on, see if they can get anything done, scout any sort of madness that might be occurring.
Yeah, they might get a little bit of a read at least into EJK here. You know, EJK also getting some Hellions, getting that starport out. We'll probably scout that.
Nice positioning up here.
Yeah, yep. EJK had good positioning there, as you said.
Able to... It's just really tough to engage with a Hellion into that kind of a position. And he was especially all spread out as well. Even that Reaper grenade wasn't able to get any kills. A bit unfortunate, but it looks like he's coming back at it again. Cyclone on the way for EJK, but we've got a small force considering making a push. And it looks like maybe just a little bit of posturing out in the front.
Yeah, maybe at least just making EJK a little bit worried there. But, you know, we've already got a Hellion. We've got some decent positioning there from EJK as well. He'll probably have no problem in pushing this back if he needs to.
One of the advantages of having some fast units out like this are you can hang out in front of your opponent's base, and if they come at you, you can just sort of run away. It's easy to be like, oh, okay, I guess I can't do any damage, and run all your units all the way home. But by keeping them around, you can, you know, mess with your opponent's head a little bit. But, you know, more importantly, I think you can get some scouting information. You can see, all right, let's poke up. Okay, he's got the tech lab on the starport there, and start making reads as to what might be going on. EJK getting a little defensive structure, harassing that worker. Don't do worker harassment to your own workers. Leave that worker alone, okay? Knock it off. You're supposed to harass the other workers. Ugh. In any case, we do have the tank production coming in here. And we have that Viking Marine tank, one of my favorite things ever.
And the Viking, it does provide kind of that extra vision for the tanks, am I correct?
Absolutely. The tank can shoot farther than it can see. So maintaining control of the sky has always been a very important thing in TVT. But it's even more important now because if you have control of the sky, then your opponent can't do any siege tank dropping, picking up, moving all over the place. So it's even air control becomes even more important when players start vying. It's not just tank evac versus tank evac. It's like, okay, tank evac versus tank evac, that's great. Bring in the Vikings. Oh, now that sucks for whoever has to deal with that. And it looks like EJK is going to be the has to deal with that player in this scenario.
Yeah, Raze is coming across the map. However, the Marine that's passing by from EJK does get to see it. So, you know, he knows this is coming. He does have a little bit of time to prepare for this push.
Yeah, it's one of those scenarios where did he see it? You know, he saw it, but did he see it? One of those kind of situations. He's going to move forward here, try and do a little bit of poking. No high ground vision just yet. These Vikings are a little bit pulled back. There he goes. Gets the high ground vision. He can start wailing away on this production structure, which is very nicely placed for run-bys, but not for harassment from tanks, unfortunately. And he is almost going to... I think he's going to lose his starport here. That's a pretty big deal. He's running into repair. Oh, my God. Oh, less than 50 hit points. Runs into repair. This is still a rough bit of a soft contain here from Raze. And so much of the production and the expansion, all of this stuff. And he's being forced down this tiny choke. He is going to make a run at it. He's got a lot of units. He's going to clean this up, but loses a lot of units in the process. EJK breaks free of the contain, and now we'll be able to use his more mobile Hellions to try to take a bit of map control and get some scouting done. Nice. He's going to see this well in advance. He knows exactly what's coming at him. The drops moving in over here.
Yeah, the drop getting close to shut down here. One of the medevacs about to fall. The other one does manage to escape, but the drop basically didn't do anything here for Raze.
Yeah.
And the
Nice
third base
defense.
now being taken here for EJK, meaning that he is going to be ahead in economy very soon.
Yep. And the command center, the third command center, only just starting for Raze, so pretty significant lead economically here for EJK. And again, we have a situation where EJK does what he needs to do, defends, trades cost efficiently, and now he's ahead in army, he's ahead in supply, he's ahead in workers, and he's ahead in bases. So it's a nice position to be in. It's not over just yet. A lot of things can happen. It's a very explosive matchup with the siege tank drops. One wrong move and you can throw away your lead quite quickly here.
Yeah, EJK trying to get situated here to attack Raze. Raze also realizes that EJK is right outside his base, wants to make sure that he gets a good positioning as well. But a really nicely placed tank trap here in the main for EJK might get Raze in just the position that EJK wants.
Yep, even with the tank on the high ground there getting picked up, he's going to have to keep these tanks alive. Nice micro here, going to pull back. And this heavy Marauder count is quite nicely done. Going to push back a lot of that for a limited time. But this is still an incredibly scary push. A lot of tanks. And he says, well, you sieged me from afar, and we'll get revenge now. The revenge of EJK and the tank evac attack. You know, it's episode 9 of Star Wars. It's coming.
The Hellions have transformed into Hellbats now. They are pushing forward. Raze probably, he does get a scan there. He is aware of this attack, just waiting at his doorstep.
Yeah.
He does have a tank in position here. This ramp is going to get a little bit choky here, but, you know, EJK, he's pushing up it regardless. He's got some tanks. He's got high ground vision.
Ooh,
but
nice focus fire from these Marauders on the side. Take out almost all the tanks. He's pushing forward with the Marauders. Nicely done by Raze, an excellent defense. He's got to get this third base up and running, though, as quickly as possible. The main story of this moment is the huge economic lead. This might even be a GG scan. It's one of those moments in time where I don't really know what's going on. I love the adorable landed factory gonna try to sneak in a Widow Mine. It turns out that refineries can see things, and that's not going to work out. But he is going to get his third base in place. A little bit late on the transfer, unfortunately. He needs every second of economy he can get.
And Raze had very good defense there. He really came out ahead in that attack, but at the same time, the army supply still favors EJK, 66 to 54. So with this economy here, EJK is still looking to be in a pretty good spot.
Absolutely. It was a very nice defense from Raze. I think he caught up. He ate into that lead that EJK has been building, but he's still got a little while to go here. Very strong defensive setup here with all the siege tanks hanging out. If he only had more medevacs, he could lift all 100 million of them at once. And
look at Raze's army, though.
The boys have been pulled. This is it. He's gonna have to. He's gonna try and make it happen right here, right now.
I think Raze realizes, after scanning, that I need to make a drastic move, and I need to do it now. The SCVs move in. Raze pushes forward, tanks in position, but EJK's army is looking pretty strong here. However, Raze doing a pretty good job taking out tanks at the same time.
Oh,
but
there's nothing to buffer
many.
for the tanks. There's nothing to buffer for the tanks at all, but it looks like there might be just enough stuff, and it does not matter. EJK with the victory. It's going to go ahead and take it 2-0.
GG, well played. It was actually getting kind of close there for a minute between, with that final attack with the pulled SCVs from Raze. But EJK, his economy was just so solid.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's one of those situations where, EJK has been working really hard in the scene for a long time, practices his butt off, and he plays mech. So he gets a lot more experience of being the mech player versus the normal stuff that normal players get against, what the heck is this mech thing? And it serves him really well. But aside from that, what I like about EJK is he has a lot of attention to detail. You'll notice that he has very, very specific building placements to prevent Hellion run-bys and different things like that, and to prevent drops. He actually has a whole system thing. I don't know if you saw it. He posted on Reddit one time. He has a whole system set up of where everything goes in his base on each map and why, and he'll raise the depots and lower the depots depending on the situation, so it works better for him. It's really cool stuff. So I always like to see him play and to see him do well. Also, good on you, everyone who's playing the games, but also, Raze, we're gonna have to see you next time because it's EJK time. I think that's that. Unless you have some closing remarks about the EJK, I think it's time for another break.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, GG, well played. That was really well done by both players, but EJK, like you said, there are just these little things that are so huge in the game that you don't notice until you kind of look at the game in detail, and you're like, whoa, that's so smart.
Next match, by the way, is going to be EJK versus Peely Peely. EJK, Peely has, it looks like they're doing the map vetoes. Peely has vetoed EJK. In response, EJK has vetoed Protoss. So it's going to be very interesting coming up. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you in a sec. Welcome back to Orbital Shipyard Star League. My name is JaKaTaK, and with me is Koshkii. How are you doing?
I am doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing awesome. We've played Orbital Shipyard a lot today, and I love it to bits, but we're going to have a little change up for you all. Ruins of Saros, the giantest giant map in the history of all StarCraft 2. We started long ago with Steps of War. And it was a tiny little baby-sized map, and we used to do wonderful, very fast pushes, and games lasted 3 minutes. And in the same planet that Steps of War is on, Ruins of Saros was actually like on the other side of the planet, on the macro side. They split it half and half because there was a bit of a civil war going on about what was better. And now we are on the macro side of that planet, and upon that side lie the Ruins of Saros. We'll be playing a TVP, Pili Pili versus EJK.